New radar contact for radar 2, bed 310, 43 nautical miles, a large contact from Martha.
Outback and Melon, we've got 200 outback.
These are exciting times for the Royal Australian Air Force. During the next 10 years, the Air Force will become a networked force, undergoing significant changes in technology, platforms and missions. The Air Force has identified common skills required by the officer aircrew that will operate the F-18F Super Hornet, the multi-mission maritime aircraft, the airborne early warning and control aircraft, maritime unmanned aerial systems, and work within the air defence ground environment. Along with current air defence officers, navigators and airborne electronics officers, they become part of a new officer specialisation, the Air Combat Officer, or ACO. The ACO is a mission manager who plays a direct role in battlespace command and control, leading, coordinating and directing air operations.
Outback and Melon, we've got Super Hornets outbound, we'll switch them to you.
ACO candidates will undertake their initial employment training at the School of Air Warfare in Sale. Their 26-week common module will include ground school, simulation and airborne training. The focus will be on skills required in all ACOs, including mission systems management and mission command. ACOs will also be trained in communications and air battle planning. A fundamental part of this initial common training will be 22 hours of flying instruction on King Air 350 aircraft. This training provides the basic indicators for streaming individual candidates for further training as they begin their careers.
The basic course is designed to teach the new students the basic aviation skills on the common portion of the course. So how to track by instruments, basic comm procedures, air traffic control procedures, systems conversion and aircraft conversion onto a particular type of aircraft, in our case the KA 350. And then we take them up in the air and apply that knowledge in a civilian environment. And then we roll forward into a more operationally focused environment. So the basic skills that they learn are then taken to a higher level where we apply it in a simplified operational scenario.
The teaching role compared to the operating role is obviously quite different. It is rewarding to see students come in and see them graduate and help them along and give them knowledge based on the background that I've had and the experiences that I've had in the Air Force. It's almost a little bit jealous of seeing them going off to start their Air Force careers and all the challenges and the exciting times that they'll have ahead of them.
The guys on number 3 Air Combat Officers course come from a wide range of backgrounds, from a police officer to a butcher to an engineer. And bringing this group together has its own challenges, but living together and working together in such close proximity means that we have to get along and we become like family.
There's always the challenge of learning something new every day and constantly having to challenge yourself to do better and perform on course.
Wasn't expected that we'd have so much fun socialising with instructors and other people that we've never met before.
Following the common module, ACOs will be streamed into one of 3 specific further training areas. They'll undergo another 14 weeks in either air battle management, maritime patrol and response, or air combat and tactical support.
After graduation, my aspiration is to be an air combat officer in the back of a Super Hornet, and therefore becoming an integral part of the fast jet environment in its defence of Australia and its interests.
From Perth to Williamtown, Amberley to Edinburgh, ACOs are posted around the country. Air combat officers streamed into air battle management and who complete specialist training at Surveillance and Control Training Unit will consolidate their skills at RAAF Base Williamtown with number 3 Control and Reporting Unit. They'll then be considered for training in the soon-to-be-delivered 737 Wedgetail, airborne early warning and control aircraft. Wedgetail will be flown by number 2 Squadron.
Striker 2-4, this is Outback 02. Cobra 01 is inbound. Confirm target is hostile. We can be responsible for anything up to 100 plus aircraft achieving their task. And that can in itself be very, very stressful. You know, you could have 60 aircraft talking to you at one time almost, and it's your job to sort of try and weed out the good information from the bad and ensure that each one of those aircraft is not only safe but also executes their mission properly, and that can be quite stressful. However, when you get down on the ground and you find that they've achieved their missions and they've all come back home safely, it can make it very rewarding.
ACOs may choose to be posted to RAAF Base Edinburgh's No. 1 Radar and Surveillance Unit or RAAF Base Darwin's 114 Mobile Control and Reporting Unit, one of the Air Force's most deployable units. Air combat officers with this unit may be posted to the detachment at RAAF Base Tyndall or deployed on operations overseas.
What I enjoy most about my job as an air combat officer is the variety of work, the responsibility it holds, the ability to travel, and I love getting out in the field and deploying with the radar.
Outback, this is Taipan. I have a Super Hornet outbound. They are switching to your frequency.
ACOs posted to No. 3 Control and Reporting Unit, also known as Eastern Region Operations Centre, will perform operational air battle management duties, conducting surveillance of Australia's air-sea gap.
Up to 30 air combat officers work in No. 3 Control and Reporting Unit. They're employed in various roles. Some are in the surveillance category and some in the fighter control category.
Those streamed into Maritime Patrol and Response will be posted to fly the AP3C Orions from RAAF Base Edinburgh near Adelaide. Their missions will include intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance over land and sea, as well as maritime strike. ACOs are integral to the crew of an AP3C Orion. In the key position of tactical coordinator, an ACO will lead a diverse range of missions around Australia and in international areas of operation.
Crew TACO, we've just received our rules of engagement from Outback. We are clear to proceed and stand by for further tasking.
For the Air Combat Officer role, I was attracted to it for its hands-on experience, especially with Orions. You get to go away a lot and you've got your whole crew there. And there's a lot of women in different roles, like you've got your AEAs, from your pilots to your navigators, your TACOs. There's a lot of room to move for women in the Air Force today.
I've loved my time in the Air Force so far. A mix of a dynamic environment, really challenging tasking and great travel. I've been to America, Hawaii, Southeast Asia, Middle East air operations, and all of that with a great bunch of men and women, 14 people on this crew. It certainly makes every environment memorable.
It's always different. Every day is different. You know, you never know. You rock up to work and you could be going out on a training mission, or you could be called out on a search and rescue, or you could go and play with the Navy off the West Coast or the East Coast, or it's the variety, I think, of jobs and roles that we do, and especially these days where we're taking on new and interesting roles as well.
Officers streamed into air combat and tactical support and further selected for the F-18F Super Hornet will go to 79 Squadron at RAAF Base Pearce near Perth. There they'll train on the Hawk 127 jet to prepare for operational training and conversion to the Super Hornets based at RAAF Base Amberley near Brisbane. Working with the pilot of the Super Hornet, the ACO will operate the latest mission systems, sensors and weapons. They may engage in air-to-air combat and ground attack.
Being an air combat officer in a two-man aircraft means you've got to work closely as a team. But outside just the two of you in the Super Hornet, obviously there's a bunch of other ACOs, pilots and other Air Force personnel all supporting you to complete the mission. So I guess overall it's like being part of a rugby team. Everyone's got their job, and at the end, if you all combine and do it well, the result's fantastic.
In future, ACOs will be required to perform tasks associated with unmanned aerial vehicles, joint terminal attack, control and space. ACOs are the mission managers of the Royal Australian Air Force and, in collaboration with pilots, are responsible for the direct application of air power in any theatre of operations around the globe.